Alright guys, no bullshit here. Let me give you the 4 discipline hacks that you need to know right now. First one, Parkinson's law. Second one, intermittent fasting. Third one, removing distractions. And last one will be getting into a flow state. When you were at school, did you remember when you had a big assignment, except it was due maybe a few months away? Little did you know, those few months passed so quickly and you had made no progress on the assignment at all. And it's actually about 2 more days left until you have to finish the assignment. The assignment is a 10,000 word essay and you have to cram it out within the next 48 hours. You get no sleep at all, you're drinking energy drinks, but you still manage to finish 10,000 words within those 2 days. And then the results come out and you actually get a good grade. This is what's known as the Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law is basically when there is a prescribed time limit to a task, you achieve that task based off of the time limit you're given. When you're given a time limit to complete something, your brain comprehends the most efficient way in order to actually complete this task with the highest amount of attention to detail. The law states that the more time that we have, we will actually fill that time up with work that is actually not efficient, but actually redundant. This is why when you have more time to do a task, you notice that the efficiency of the output that is produced is actually reduced because you're actually not putting in as much work due to the increase of time that you're given. But when you're placed under a time pressure, it's when your brain automatically forces yourself to do the most efficient producing task and complete it within the given amount of time. By setting a time limit to actually complete a single task, you place a challenge in your brain to place pressure on itself to actually complete the hard work. Simply sit down and when you have a task to do, let your mind know how long you want to complete this task. For example, if you want to complete 1 paragraph, make sure you set a time of how long you want to do this for. And notice just how, as if something just clicks in your mind, like a hidden area that's just been unlocked. And notice just how everything is completed within the time frame as soon as you sit. This is the power of Parkinson's law, and you should apply it every time that you need to get something that you don't want to do out of the way. Number 2 is removing distractions. Remove distractions from wherever you're working. It sounds so stupid, but I know that most people at home right now are still probably trying to do work with their phone right next to it. Always leave your phone out the room when you're trying to do work. This is just self-explanatory. You shouldn't be playing on your phone while you're trying to do work. If you're doing work, make sure you completely focus in, zone into it, and make sure you remove all the distractions. So basically what I do here is I have distraction blockers on my laptop and actually my phone, which I'll be showing you right now. Alright, I had to grab my phone out because it wasn't with me, but this is my phone. I literally have to click the home button to turn it on. And when I'm actually on the phone, there's no apps that are irrelevant on it. Okay, so basically all I have is my phone app and my messages and Messenger, which I use the most. And there's no social media on it. And literally, this is the app that has changed everything. It's called Opal. And it basically just blocks all the things that you just don't need in your life. Because most of the time I find that I go on my phone and I actually have no intention of going on my phone, I realize I just go on it to just waste time. And it's because my brain's unconsciously telling me that I need something to distract me while I'm sitting down or just doing nothing. And I just realized that when I go on my phone, I'm just like trying to find an escape. I'm actually not going on my phone to actually use it for its purpose. So now it's just become more of a distraction for me. Which is why on my phone, if you go on the notifications, all of it's off. And I tell you to do this now. So all of the notifications are all off. It's not focusing. Okay. So I have all my notifications off. And then I have this grayscale, so I can just turn it black by clicking on it 3 times. So if I click on 3 times, it'll go black and white, which helps a lot as well. And basically the main thing is just turn off all your notifications. Turn off all your notifications and you won't regret it. Because when you look at your phone, you want it to be a distraction for yourself unconsciously. So when you see that there's a notification, you obviously go on it. And then that's when you're going to be scrolling for ages and ages. So it's always a distraction for you. That's why it's called a notification. The main purpose of it is to actually get you hooked to use the app. Which is why social media companies spend billions of dollars researching this human psychology. Because they want you to click it. There's a team of psychologists that are rooting for you to pick it. They are paid for you to pick this notification. Think about that. They studied all of this data just to analyze your brain. They know every single part of how your brain works. And they know that when you're distracted, lonely, or bored, and you get a notification on your phone, you're most likely to click it. And then spend ages on the app. That's just how it works. Trust me, you won't miss anything. And it's 100% worth it. Shit. I get my cameras. Next thing is actually intermittent fasting. So something I've been doing for a few years is actually just not eating in the morning and actually just fasting for the morning. And when you do this, I found that I was actually just more clear in the mind and I was able to actually just do work for a longer period of time. I didn't have to have that sense of brain fog, more so tiredness in the morning. And I was able just to sit down and clear my mind and do the hard work. I don't feel tired or anything. I just feel clear. And I think that's the main way we should be in the mornings, especially when it's the most productive time of the day. Yeah, all you do is just fast for a long period of time, but you still eat during the later half. So, for example, I stop eating at about 6:30 and then I break the fast at about 12 o'clock the next day. So I fast for about 16 hours. And that basically puts your body in a state of ketosis where your body has nothing to eat. So it uses the fat storage in your body to actually fuel your body. This mode is typically not activated in the body due to the abundance of food. We never had to worry about food, so we never utilize these fat storages. But when we do, it's actually when we're able to actually cleanse our body and actually reduce the inflammation, just clear the mind, and actually reduce the fat in the body, making us just more healthier overall. Final thing is to actually how to get yourself into a flow state. What is flow state? Flow state is the state of an area of mind where you're fully consumed into the single task and you have zero thoughts about it and you're able just to immerse yourself completely. Athletes like to call it the zone. Athletes like Ronaldo, Kobe, where they'll just be focused completely on the sport and nothing else is in their mind. It's when they're able to perform at their best and just absolutely dominate others. So this state of mind is what actually gets you to produce the most highest. This is the state of mind that actually helps you produce the best amount of work in the shortest amount of period of time. Because you're in a state of mind where you're completely immersed into one thing and your mind is just actively producing the most quality work. Think about the time when you're doing something and you're doing this task, you're just enjoying it so much that when you check the clock, you didn't realize the clock had turned a few hours. A few hours had gone by and you hadn't even realized it because you were so indulged into that task. This is flow state. It's when you're so immersed you don't even know what's going around you. Now think about something hard that you don't really like doing, but you still need to do. Imagine if you could utilize your own flow state for that. I'm going to teach you that right now. So, how to force yourself to get into this flow state. This is learned by Andrew Huberman, a famous neuroscientist. So first, you should find the specific thing that you need to focus on. If it's an essay, find the specific word and focus only on the specific word. You want to stare that single word down and squint your eyes a bit and just look at it for about 60 seconds and don't move your mind off of anything. While you do this, make sure you breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth and just stare at the word. And once you do this, it actually helps put your mind in a state of flow. And you're able to actually do the hard work because now you're telling yourself subconsciously that you're only focusing on this single task. And what it tells your brain is to actually focus on the specific task, putting you into a flow state. So the 4 things to improve your discipline: Parkinson's law and removing distractions, intermittent fasting, and getting into flow state. Action step for today is to download all of the tools that I mentioned, set them up on your phone, remove your notifications, and thank you for watching. I'll see you at the top.